Okay, let's get started. My name is Jessie. I am the virtual chapter director for APTA. Today we have Ken joining us all the way from Nairobi. He should be having happy hour right now, but we've managed to nail him down for a quick webinar on the JW Marriott Masai Mara. Before we get started, this webinar is being recorded. So if you need to step out early for anything, please don't stress. That will be uploaded on the APTA webinar library here by the end of the week. Also, please ask questions. Please type those through in the GoToWebinar control panel box. The questions box, Ken and I will get to those at the end of the webinar, so please type those through. Also, just some other housekeeping notes. If you are new to APTA, or if this is one of your first webinars that you are joining, we do have a $45 a year membership for individuals, $350 for corporate. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about any membership. If you're a corporate member joining us, we do these webinars for our corporate members, so our individual members across the world can join us here. I am so super excited to hand everything over to Ken, again, joining us from Nairobi. So thanks for staying up a little bit later, Ken. Really excited about this one, the brand new JW Masai Mara, JW Marriott Masai Mara Lodge. It's a mouthful, but worth it. Ken is going to take us through this brand new property. Please type through your questions. Ken, over to you.
Jambo and good evening from Nairobi. My name is Ken. I'm the Director of Sales JW Marriott Masai Mara, where we offer you a rejuvenating safari experience that fits your body and soul. Just to quickly introduce myself, I've been in the industry for 10 years, worked with different brands, and lately working with JW Marriott Masai Mara. With the brand, I've been with them for 5 years. Just to start off, I would like to give you the location of our property. It's located in the Mara along the Talek River. As you know, Mara, we have 3 main rivers. There's the Mara River, there's the Sand River. Migration normally starts off from the Sand River into the Mara River. So we're not far off. I mean, we're like 45 minutes away from there. Our main airstrip is Kikro airstrip. And if you're driving from Nairobi, it will take you 5 hours. And the nearest gate to our property is Sekenani Gate. The reason why we positioned ourselves where we are is because we found there's need to bring new product into the market that cares about the community and supports the community, and at the same time elevate the standards of safari properties in the Mara. What we offer is a similar service and authentic experiences all together in the property. In terms of our facilities, we have a spa, we have a garden, and then we have a restaurant, which is called Surabi, swimming pool, fitness center, a photo studio, an adventure lounge, and a gift shop. I will tackle each of the items and just to quickly explain what we have. In terms of spa, I know if you've been to the Mara, you realize that most property will just offer you massage treatments, but for us, we're offering you a whole spa experience, from the treatments to ensuring that we can align with your wellness plans. You can do yoga with us. We have a yoga trainer on site and well-experienced chefs who can also understand your dietary preferences in terms of wellness. We have a JW garden. It's a botanical garden that you can experience your meals from the garden by picking up, fresh vegetables, whatever you need from that garden, and get it prepared on site and enjoy an amazing lunch or evening dinner. And then the Victory Lounge is a lounge within the main area of the property. And here is where you can enjoy your evening entertainment, or you can sit back and enjoy cocktails from the bar. Then our Sarabi restaurant is an a la carte restaurant, and we serve multi-cuisine options. And whatever dietary preference you may have, our chefs will always be there to assist and ensure that you get the best. A fitness center, unlike most of the properties, we have a gym on site where if you are physical enthusiast, you can have a moment to go and work out, or you can continue with your program while staying with us, and we have an instructor. We saw the need of taking care of your photography, and we now have a photo studio fully kitted, and we have camera and camera lenses that you can borrow during your stay, to take the best photographs. And our cameras are Canon and mirrorless, the new technology when it comes to cameras. We have a professional photographer on site who can assist you whenever you need assistance with your photography or editing. And if you need photographs of you taken during your stay and during the safari, that can be arranged as well, but at a small cost. In terms of taking care of your teenagers and the young adults, we have an adventure lounge. That is where we can let the teenagers go and give their parents or those who are traveling with time to sort of just enjoy their time alone, and they can enjoy their time alone, and they can be taken through certain activities just to keep them engaged. On site, we have gift shop, and a majority of the items that we have are from the community, so they prepare and we sell it on their behalf. In terms of the number of tents that we have 20 tents, all similar in terms of design and structure. However, we have within the 20 tents a family tent that is 2 tents put in one, that has a lounge at the center, so that is good for the family. And then we have a honeymoon suite, which as you can see, it's actually on the photo, on the presentation that we have. The difference with the other tents is that a honeymoon suite has both the jacuzzi and a plunge pool, or a place that you can just plunge in and just relax. And this is ideal for honeymooners, and we can serve them their meals exclusively at the tent, depending on what they prefer. In terms of safaris, we have a total of 10 jeeps. 7 of them are 4-seaters and 6 of them are 6-seater jeeps, which I would say provides you with exclusive experience when it comes to going out for game drives. During your stay, our property is an all-inclusive property, and we provide 2 bush meals as part of the package. So there is a sundowner and there is a bush lunch and bush breakfast, depending, weather permitting. In terms of how far we are from the migration, it's 45 minutes. In terms of game, we're in a rich game neighborhood, and we have guides who are experienced, and a majority of them actually come from the Mar community. Our property minimum age for kids is 6, and we can accommodate anybody else above that age, different generations, elderly people, and we're able to sort of just ensure that we fit their needs. I think up to there, thank you for making time to be with us and attending this webinar. And if you have any questions, I wouldn't mind answering, and looking forward to working with you closely. Thank you.
Thanks, Ken. Appreciate that. Stay on this slide. If you guys have any questions, please type those through. Ken's the expert here, so I would love for you to use him for his knowledge. This is a great question to lead off with, Ken. Was the JW Masai Marriott Lodge a new build, or did you guys refurb something and take something over? Can you explain that?
We took over an existing property, and we did everything. We took down whatever was there and then ensured that we took care of the landscape, whatever was there, and just built the tents of our design.
Okay, so it wasn't from the ground up. You took over a previous camp and just kind of elevated, refurbed, and just refreshed.
Yes, that's what we did.
Makes sense. This is a good question. Can you explain a little bit how like a day, obviously the migration is a bucket list item. You're only 45 minutes away from one of the main crossings. You mentioned that you had, I think, 7 vehicles. How does a day look if you were wanting to visit the migration? For example, if you are a couple that's paired with another couple and they're wanting to, you know, stay at the river for longer, do you offer private experiences? Can you just kind of walk us through some different options on how to view the migration since it is really close to you guys? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. In terms of vehicles, there are 10. 7 of them are 4-seaters and the 3 of them are 6-seaters. What we always prefer is to offer a sense of exclusivity, which makes it easier in terms of coordinating your itinerary for the day. So the most important thing that we do is once you check in, if you have an option of taking an exclusive use of car at a cost. However, when we say 4 people in a jeep, it's more or less exclusive. It's not crowded. So what the guide does is once the guide is the one actually picking you up from the airstrip when you land, check in, they'll be with you, and then you can have a briefing with the guide and just plan out your itinerary, your expectations, what you would like to experience, and then he will be able to sort of just ensure that he aligns you with the day and your expectation, and ensures that everybody within the jeep gets to experience what they desire. And our guides are experienced, so they're well informed. They'll be able to know how long you can stay at the river and how long you can go and do something else.
But yeah, it
I hope
sounds
I've
like,
answered it.
yes, of course. So it sounds like you can book a private vehicle to guarantee, you're not paired with someone that, you know, I can't imagine you wouldn't want to stay there all day, but just in case, if you're a family of two and or just a couple of two and you want to ensure that you have sole use of the vehicle and, can really make it a more personal experience. That sounds good.
That
Um,
sounds.
okay, perfect. Is the property fenced? Do you need an escort back to your room, or how does that work?
One section of the property is fenced, but we've not blocked the animal corridor. We have one corridor actually near the honeymoon tent, which is open. So animals get in property. However, we recommend during the evening hours, it's good to just get a guide to work with you, and we have individuals on property to assist you with that.
Perfect. So
We
not fenced.
didn't want to stop
Great.
the animals from, yeah, it's
Yeah.
open.
No, wonderful. Um, that is a great question. This is another good question. So, can you talk about the configuration of the tents? Are they all 1 bedroom? Do you have any interleading? Do you have family, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom? Can you just explain that again?
The only tent that we have that is a 2 bedroom is a family tent, because it's 2 tents brought together, but all each of the tents in the family tent or the family unit is ensuite. So
Okay.
you have your privacy at the same time.
Yeah. So you have
Yeah.
one 2 bedroom family suite.
And the rest is just
One.
one room. That is.
Do you do triples if there's like a smaller child? Obviously you're not going to put a family of 6, but if the rest of your inventory is 1 bedroom and you're booked and you're wanting a family of 3, like do you put in a 10-year-old, a 16-year-old? Do you do triples?
Let me mention this. Our tents, compared to, I think, most of the tents that I've experienced during my safaris in Kenya, we have, I would say, the biggest and the most spacious tents currently. And for that reason, we considered the fact that there are families who would want to be together, and the fact that we don't have interleading tents in the Mara. It would only be fair for us to have uh, to have tents that can accommodate the families together, so we can have extra beds in the tent, and the extra beds are a good size, a good adult size kind of extra bed. And then we
Okay,
have tents that have twin beds and just the king size bed.
correct. And there are how many tents in total again?
20 tents.
20 total. Okay, perfect. How about limited mobility? You definitely said that you can welcome older guests. So I'm talking, limited mobility in terms of, are you handicap accessible or just maybe more limited mobility?
Most of our areas, the public area, the walkways to the tents, and some of the tents have ramps. And then we have one tent that has been customized to, include all the needs that are there.
Perfect. Right. No, that's wonderful.
And in terms of allocation for the elderly, when we know an elderly person is coming, we consider allocating them tents that are closer to the main area.
Sure. No, that's wonderful. Okay, so I know you're 45 minutes away from one of the main river crossings, which is an extremely very convenient. Do you have any other, just, there's such a wide variety, whether it's 3, 4, 5-star, and obviously we're talking about luxury here. What are some other unique selling points of JW Marriott? We love how you're focused on conservation, keeping people from the surrounding community. Is there anything? I love the spa option for you. Are there any other really, really unique selling points that you didn't get to touch on that JW Marriott Masai Mara Lodge is focusing on?
The best reviews that we've had lately is on culinary options, and this pertains to wellness. So there is a normal menus that we have, in the hotels and the lodges that you go to. For our property, we have menus that are being custom made to sort of just take care of your wellness, needs. So if you're vegetarian or if you have a certain plan to work with, we can work with up to 7-day menu plans for you.
Amazing.
Just to ensure that, to ensure that we fit into that.
That's great. This is a good question. So you already have your own vehicles on site. Are you allowing other DMCs, do you have to use a JW Marriott vehicle to conduct your safaris? Are you letting anyone else traverse? If someone were to book through a DMC or something like that, how are you managing those bookings, I guess?
So having worked with DMCs for a long time, I understand the importance of consistency. Especially those who have language speaking, you prefer certain language speaking guides, Spanish, Russian, whatever languages are there, or those who have preferred guides that they've used, a couple of years back, and they just want to maintain the same. For that, yes, we can allow, them to enjoy game drives with them. However, just to mention, we have very uniquely designed jeeps. So it would be nice to sort of consider having your guests using our jeeps so that you can have sort of consistency with what the guests have in the camp to ensure that everybody is getting the best experience, thus far.
So,
in the event that people will have to make any comparisons, because so far in the Mara, we have very uniquely designed jeeps. There are aspects of it that is different from the rest. So I would always recommend to use our jeeps, but I would say if you have a guide that you prefer to, stay with, you can drive down to the Mara, to our property with that guide. And yes, we can allow him to sort of just go along with you during the game drives.
Wonderful. Another question. So the location, you mentioned that at the beginning. Are you considered on are you on private land? Are there other vehicles that are traversing your land? Is it only your vehicles and then you're going into the park? Talk a little bit more about the location. I know you mentioned that at the beginning.
Our property is on private land. Okay. So it's only us within that space. However, yes, there are neighbors, within the vicinity, but their vehicles do not cross our property.
So you have the private land to do safari on, and then of course you're going into the national park for the crossings or maybe other great sightings, but you do have the private land that you're traversing.
So just to correct, to make a correction, game drives happen only within the main reserve.
Mm.
However, I know people would ask, during the migration season, the main reserve gets busy.
Sure.
However, we've trained our guides not to follow everybody else.
Yeah.
Our guides understand where to go at what time, just to offer you an exclusive kind of experience.
Wonderful.
So as much as you will be within the park, we've taken care of, you know, the huge traffic that gets in there, especially during the migration season.
Totally. Which is crazy, right?
It is.
And it's
But
been,
I mean, that's when everybody shows up and you can't tell them not to show up. And that's the only place you go to spot the migration. But we have a way of maneuvering. And
yeah.
even I would say late during this season, we used to sort of track down the migration movement. And we would sort of get information in advance before everybody knows where and when the animals will be very close to crossing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. So to wrap it up, travel agents can book directly or through their DMC, correct?
Whichever way one is comfortable with. If you have a local DMC that you prefer booking with, which I would say it's okay based on the fact that you might be doing an extensive itinerary,
Sure.
it's in order. And if you're just doing our property or you prefer handling your plans as an individual or at DMC, it's in order. You can reach out to us and we'll be able to assist you.
Perfect. All right, excellent. Ken, I think there's probably a glass of wine with your name on it. Thank you so much for taking the time today. I recorded this webinar. It'll be up on our APTA webinar library. If your question didn't get answered, I think I got to them all, but I'll make sure I send a questions report to Ken so he can answer all of those. But short and sweet, thank you so much for your time, Ken, and thanks for your support of APTA. We hope you guys have a good rest of your Tuesday, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you all for joining. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Bye.
Thank you.